Well, water's opening up, and you know what that means? Spring foraging season is basically right around the corner. So today I thought I'd invite you guys along. I was just gonna go on a little walk here, but I wanted to show you guys what's in my foraging pack for this spring. So it's super important to have a well-organized foraging bag when you're out doing your foraging for wild edibles this spring. So I thought I'd talk a bit about that and about a little insect I'm pretty worried about this spring. So let's take a peek inside my bag. So here's the pack I've been using recently. It's just a small day pack by Gregory. It's got lots of pockets. I really love it. Inside I have everything organized. So when we open things up, you'll see I always carry some water with me. If not, I will carry one of those little pens that you can kind of stick in the water and use it as a straw. It's called a life straw that you can drink water safely. It's got a good filter. But if not, just bring your water bottle. And to organize things, what I'm doing is I'm using one of these. So these are plastic boxes, kind of like little toolboxes or, tackle boxes. I actually got them from Princess Auto. A pack of 2 is a pretty good deal. So you can see I customized it to my liking with my mushroom stickers. And it's got a couple of levels. Let's look at everything. It just kind of opens up like that. And here we go. So on the top level here, you can see I have a foraging knife. So you can pick whichever one you want. This is a really nice one. This is from Austria, and you guys know that my background is Austrian on my dad's side. So this is an Austrian knife. You can certainly have any kind of knife you want. I do have all sorts of knives. I've got a great collection, but you can also use your mushroom foraging knife. This one's a good, all-purpose knife. So I've got that with me, all-purpose for foraging, that is. And then, of course, always carry with you a way of starting fire. You never know if you're going to get caught out in the bush or something like that and need to get yourself warm. So I will bring a lighter or matches. Or my ferro rod, that's another favorite of mine too. This is a favorite. We need energy on the trail. This is from Endurance Tap. It's an energy gel that I actually used to help me when I had my, my cardiac issue. It seemed to help a lot, giving me a big hit of sugar. So this is maple syrup, a little bit of ginger in it. So I always carry one of these. This is my lifesaver in my pack. If I get, really down on energy, I need energy on the go. So always carry something like that. Something like this, an energy bar, a Cliff Bar, anything like that will be very helpful on, a day foraging trip. Of course, you want to pack a lunch or a supper if you plan out and being on the land for a while. Another thing I keep in my kit, sometimes you get hot and sweaty or the bugs get stuck to you. These are sort of a wet wipe. They are also from Princess Auto. I just take a couple out of the pack. They are, they're like a hemp oil product. And they're great. They're nice and moist. You can wash your hands with them. You can just wipe down your neck or your face if you get too sweaty and get bugs on them. One nice thing about these wipes is they do have, they're kind of a little, they're not rough, but they do have a texture to them. So even wiping them on your arms or your neck or face, you might actually get a few little seed ticks off of you with those. So I usually carry a couple of those wipes. Back onto fire starting. Always important to have methods to kind of get the fire started. So I usually make these. You guys have seen the video where I make these. So it's a little bit of birch bark in there and some paraffin wax. So these really light up once you light the birch. They go for a while and you can kind of put them in to start your fire if you can't find birch bark in the forest where you are. And then here's a little bit of fire starter as well. Just sort of wax coated wood fiber. Important on the trail, if you're going around and you want to mark something, I usually keep a little bit of trail tape with me, and a little bit of snare wire, a little bit of brass snare just in case, emergency purposes. Always good to have wire. Now let's take a look at the second layer of my kit. I mentioned bugs earlier. And certainly we're going to be getting into black fly season really soon, especially this fast moving water around me. So I do like to carry bug spray with me. One of my favorite bug sprays, because it doesn't destroy plastic, is Pi Active. It's DEET free. Smells a little bit, like bug spray, but certainly does not chew up plastic or fishing line or mess up your glasses if you're kind of touching them. So I usually carry that with me. It says it's good for up to 12 hours. I reapply depending if you're sweating, doing a lot of foraging or activities out in the woods. So bring your favorite bug spray with you. And of course, as we get closer to the season, what I like to do is I have a whole bug suit designed here in Canada up north. So I wear like the whole the upper body bug suit with the netting for the face. And in my backpack, I usually carry with me the Ben's Invisinet. This one is just for the head. So when it's not too bad, very early season and the flies are just trying to bite, but not really, and just being irritating. This is just a net that goes over my baseball cap here. So that protects my face and my neck. And then as the season goes on, as I mentioned, I'll use the full bug suit. Right now it is above 4 Celsius. It's 5 today. Sap is running. It's beautiful outside. But what that means is ticks. Tick season is upon us, everyone. It's probably, if you're in the southern US or mid-US, it's probably hitting you right now. Ticks will start to move above 4 Celsius and they look for a blood meal. They're trying to latch. So typically spikes are spring and fall, although, you know, I have had bites in the summertime. So you want to be prepared in your kit. I want you guys this year to make sure you carry methods to remove ticks from your body if you get them. Of course, the key is prevention, wearing light colored clothing, your bug suits, and you know, some people wear permethrin impregnated in the clothes. That's a new thing you can get now. And also permethrin spray. It really helps repel them. And you know, of course, Piactive is really good for ticks, as well as, you know, deep woods off and things like that. But let's take a look at some of the things I have to remove ticks from my body. So here is my little tick kit on this side. So last fall I had 2 ticks. Royce had 1. Now he's on a tick repellent. They did actually bite him, but they died fairly quickly. They were very flat. They did not get a blood meal on him more than just a couple of drops. So mine, you know, I caught them right away, which is good. And there's different ways to remove them. So I brought a couple of different things to show you here. So this is a tick key. I've got this online. And you can see it's got a little narrow edge and a wider edge right here. So the idea is that you kind of, you know, when the tick bites into you, its little face parts go in. So this part would go in to where they're biting you, and then, you know, you pull backwards and it pulls the body out. Now, when I had my tick, this didn't work. It was so small. It was a little tiny tick the size of a sesame seed. So what really worked was tweezers. So you'll see in my kit here, I have some tweezers. I bought a set of 5 from Princess Auto. You can buy the little kits online or from their store. And this one's really good. So you can kind of get right there by the head and pull it right out. So I found this very beneficial. The tweezers really worked for the smaller ones. The bigger ones, the tick key I find works pretty good. So the tweezers helped get mine out last fall. Another one that I have with me, kind of good for the dog, but I carry them too, just in case. It looks like a little crowbar. So there's 2 sizes, one for the little tiny ticks and one for the bigger ones that swell up after they've had a blood meal. I'll just show you them. All right, so you can see there how narrow those little slots are, and that's probably even better than that tick key that I showed you. So tweezers number 1, these I prefer number 2, and then the tick key number 3. The tick key works best for the bigger ticks. So I kind of keep these around too. Forget where I got this one. Maybe it was at Mech or something. I forget. An outdoor store for sure. And it basically clips on to your pack. So I keep that with me. You know, ticks can transmit diseases like Lyme disease and anaplasmosis, you know, within not a very long period of time. So you want to be able to get the ticks off very quickly. And in your kit, you may want to keep something to store the tick if you have to take it to your doctor for testing, if that's what they do in your area. So carry a little something like this, either for medication while you're on the trail, or to, you know, if you get a tick bite and you want to save it to get tested, you can send it off with something like that to take it to the doctor's office. Another thing I have, you know, if you were to get a tick bite or just an injury in the field, is you know, antiseptic wipes. So you know, when you remove the tick, you want to clean the area with a bit of alcohol, like your tick bite itself, with a little bit of alcohol. Don't squeeze the tick, don't light it on fire. That's not going to work. You're going to potentially make yourself sick. And these diseases, they're getting more and more common, you know, with climate change. I think that's what we're seeing, more Lyme disease, anaplasmosis. Even there's a tick-borne disease that you can get that will make you permanently allergic to red meat. So that's not something you want to mess around with. That's the Lone Star tick, for some of you guys that are familiar with that. That tick bite could give you some lifelong changes. A lot of tick-borne disease can cause you lifelong changes in your system. So you don't want to mess around. So there's my antiseptic wipes. I also carry Band-Aids as well, you know, if you're to cut yourself, and some tissue paper. And, you know, if you were to, well, this is mainly for Royce, if he's to cut himself or injure himself, I've got bandage material to put on a paw or whatever. But, you know, I can use it for myself too. If I cut myself, just wrap it up. I also carry a flashlight with me, and sometimes I forage later in the day. You don't want to get caught in the dark, so always good to have a flashlight with you. And last but not least, I have some spruce balm salve that I make myself. Very good to put on wounds, kind of moisturize your hands, things like that. So usually keep that there as well. And of course, always important if you're not sure what you're looking at in the field to carry with you an edible wild plants book. This one is the Peterson Field Guide. There's lots of good ones out there. So this is a really good one to take a look at. And don't forget to bring your GPS if you can, or your notebook for where you found last year's harvests. I always mark a GPS point when I find something like wild leek or morels, because things come up where they were the last time. So really important to keep track on things. So things look different in different seasons, and you may not recognize where you are if it's a newer area, and you don't want to get lost. So compass, GPS, your book, your notes, so that you can keep track of things. Other things I have in my main backpack are bags to put my foraged goods in, and they're typically those reusable fruit bags, so they're kind of like a mesh. So I'll have a few of those in my backpack. Sometimes I will have brown paper bags. You can use those as well. And also in my car, what I have when I get back there after hiking is a cooler. So I've got an ice pack in there in my cooler, so I can put, you know, perishable items like berries, mushrooms in there so they don't spoil on the drive home. One other thing that's really good to have in the car is one of those sticky tape rollers that you use to get pet hair or lint off of your sweaters. That's also good for getting ticks off of clothing when you're getting back in the car. So coming up soon, you know, I'm going to be doing some foraging. I'm really excited. I'll take you guys along on adventures. I've done quite a few videos now on foraging. So I want to challenge you guys this spring to try to find 5 wild edibles, just to find them this spring. So things to look for. I'm going to give you 5 suggestions. So let's look for lilacs. The petals are edible. I made ice cream last year. Check out that video. I'd like you to find some spruce tips. You can make spruce tip syrup. You can put it on salads. You can make teas. Also did a video on pickled spruce tips, so you can check that out. Those should be coming out fairly shortly in our area. The other thing you may want to try to look for this year is try to look for a morel mushroom. I did a video on how to identify morels versus false morels. All these videos, I'll put a link down below in the description box. So see if you can find a morel, even just take a picture of it. So morels, lilacs, spruce tips, also forsythia. Maybe you could try to find some forsythia flowers this spring. I made a beautiful syrup out of those. And also violet petals. I mean, again, another really nice, you can make violet jelly, so you can try looking for that this spring. So quite a few things to even start to look for. I mean, bonus if you can find wild leek. Those are wonderful. And fiddleheads. My goodness, 7. Here we go. I mean, I could go on and on. So see if you can find some of those, even just to take a picture of them. And you can feel free to send them to me at my, you know, in any of my social media messaging boxes there, like on Facebook or Instagram. I don't do a lot of ID for people because sometimes you don't know different environments and stuff. I don't want to be liable for things like that. But send me their photos, and I would be happy to take a look and see if you're doing well with your challenge. So thanks so much for tuning into today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed a sneak peek into my foraging pack, and I really hope you're interested in doing this little foraging challenge this spring to expand your knowledge. Remember, when in doubt, throw it out. You don't have to eat these things for the challenge. Just take pictures of them. Just kind of enhance your knowledge. See what you can identify this spring. And if there's any other ones that you can think of for this spring, to look for, put them down below in the comments. All right, I hope you guys have a great week as always, and we'll see you in the next video. Have fun. Take care.